pick a field that translates into the civilian world, like me, air traffic controller. Perfect segue, right? So I came out as an air traffic controller. Now I was in the Army doing air traffic control, but I was a tactical guy. So what did that really mean? That meant that I was a very highly trained, highly skilled grunt. I was still in the woods. I was sneaking up on my food. I was setting ambushes. I was doing all sorts of things. I wasn't in the tower talking to airplanes, but I am an air traffic controller. It says so. I finished all the training. So when I got out, the government looked at that and said, hey, we need air traffic controllers. Are you an air traffic controller? Yes, sir. Can you prove it? Here's my DD-214. You're hired.
Wow.
Yeah.
DD-214
is your discharge paperwork for the military, guys.
That was a special. Now, to back up just a little bit, to give you guys all the sauce, this is about networking. This is why I'm always talking about, Fresh's networking skills. I know y'all be hating on Fresh. I swear to God, I don't know why. But this man, listen to him when it comes to networking. I met someone when I was in the Army, my second year. I met him, an older gentleman, a brother, solid man. And he said, hey, you're an air traffic controller. Like, yes, sir. He was in the Air Force, but he went on to do some great things. And he's like, if I could help you get in to the, government side, would you be interested? Say, yes, sir. This is how I'm talking to him. I wasn't like, yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's lit. Nah. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yeah. I was sitting up straight. He gave me his card. He said, you keep in touch with me. All right. That was 1992. Right. I got in 1998. I got a call from him like in 1994-ish, 95, 96. He called me. You still interested? Yes, sir. And he told me what to do.
You're out the military at this point,
About
right?
the military.
So 1990 to 1994, you're out now.
I'm out.
Okay. And he hits you up right when you're coming out.
I met him when I was in the military.
Okay.
Then all this time passes. I do all my Army stuff. I go to Korea, doing all this other kind of stuff. I get out. I kept his number. I kept in touch like he told me. He told me to keep in touch. Yes, sir. I kept in touch, checking in. He gives me a call. You still want to do this? Yes, sir. I'm going to send you a packet. I need you to fill this packet out, and I need you to get it to this person on this day. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. You send me that packet, man. I filled that stuff out. Yeah. Because, before the computers, we had to...
Yeah. And guys, SF50 is basically your entire, you go through, because you had to get a clearance, right? Probably. So yeah, standard Form 50, which is basically like, it's like a standard government document from OPM, and you basically like fill out all your stuff. Name, address, where you lived the past 10 years. It's very extensive. Very, very extensive.
Where you've been working, who you know.
Yeah.
And it was that, and then you had to put in your resume, you had to put in a whole bunch. Back then you had to put everything in there.
Yeah.
So he told me to do it, I got it done, got it to the person, and then that was it.
100 plus pages easily.
Got all that done. Yep. Mind y'all, I'm in the streets.
Yep.
Right, I'm doing my thing.
So you went back to Cincinnati at this point?
I went back to Cincinnati. I'm working as a janitor at a high school.
Okay.
Right, full-time job. I'm working. That's from 2 to 10. And then from midnight to 8 a.m., I'm working like at Walmart, working at, Sears. I always had 2 full-time jobs and a side hustle. I was street promoter for one of the local record labels, All Net Records, Tyrone Hill. Shout out to my boys. I worked for them until some rainbow dude approached me, and let's just say I didn't work there anymore.
Bad boys.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, dude wanted to proposition me. So
you were like, no.
I messed up some of the office. Yeah. I messed up some of the. I may or may not. They might have needed some more drywall. I think
okay.
so.
So imagine what they did at Bad Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we can talk about that, bro, because I've been in that business.
Yeah.
The record side and the movie side. The record side is way worse. All the stuff you hear about the movie stuff, like with the Harveys and all that kind of stuff, nothing compared to what was going on.
I believe it.
On the hip hop side. I still can't believe Me Too missed that.
Yeah. And I covered that on Fed Reacts yesterday.
It was covered up a lot, but now it's seeping out through the pores. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So going back to what you're saying, so you're doing the janitor work, and you're working like for Sears and stuff like that, which the Sears even still exist?
Barely. I think they may have just a few left.
Okay. Department store guys.
J.C. Penney's, they're gone too.
Yeah.
Kohl's, I think they're about to go.
God damn.
We got some problems, bro.
Retail is wild.
Nigga, who's going to Kohl's? That shit's trash. We used to go in there anyway.
Fresh. Everybody can't spend $1,500 on a t-shirt, bro.
Hold on. I ain't say that.
Yeah, man.
I go to Zara. I go to Target. I love it there, you know?
Be in there chasing hoes. You don't be shopping in there, bro.
This nigga, bro. This nigga, man.
So you're there, right? So you're working in these two full-time jobs, and you're doing the thing with the music stuff, but you left that after. So sorry. So you were continuing on. So you get this call in '94. Why you're doing these jobs?
While I'm doing these jobs, I get
You
a
did this
call.
for
in
what,
94.
about a year, maybe?
Well, the first call came in and I did everything, and then I get another call like 8 months later to go do some interviews. Go get this interview done.
Because you filled in your packet, then you get a call 8 months later. Okay.
Go get this interview. Go get this interview done. Go this place. And it was almost like CIA type shit. You know what I mean? It's like you get the message and shit. And it's like this message will self-destruct type shit. Whatever. I'm going to do my thing. Do the interviews. So it took about a year and some change of me getting these calls. And the point I want you guys to take home from this, when someone is trying to help you, let them help you do what they say the first time. Don't be on some, what was that? How much time do I have? What was, but because if we're trying to help you, if I'm trying to help you and you making it hard for me to help you, I'm like, yo, bye.
Also, just to add to your point as well, if you're likable and you're humble about things, guess what? I want to help you even more now. So that right there proves, even after all that time, you know what? This young man I spoke to back then was humble and followed orders. I got his back.
Yeah. So we went through this process. So I got out in 94. So from 94 until 98, I'm working 2 full-time jobs, right? My main full-time job was the school, and then I would have another full-time job, and I would have my side hustle. And then maybe I did some other stuff that you wouldn't like.
Just maybe.
Maybe.
Just maybe.
You know, maybe I was selling stuff that looked like oregano. I don't know. Allegedly.
Yeah.
So, but the point is I was always working. I'm young, I'm in my 20s. I'm not in the basement, right? I'm chasing girls. I'm making time for that, but
After work.
I shouldn't have been. But I was chasing one, but my hustle was working. I had my dudes who was out there really cranking. I had dudes out there like on some UJK, like Underground Kings type shit, UGK, man, pocket full of stones. I had them dudes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I got a pocket full of stones and they won't leave my ass alone. Them guys were doing their thing. They had the guys doing their green over here doing their thing. But they respected me because I just kept working.
Yeah.
They were like, your hustle is, they wouldn't even let me get involved. Your hustle was working, man, just keep working. Your hustle is networking, keep networking. So we do all this, right? And I get the call and he's like, okay, all your stuff is done with my man. He hooked me up. I'm like, cool. I'm like, now what? It's kind of here it is, 1996, going into 1997. I get a call from some lady like, hello? And the FAA like to formally ask if you would like to accept this position as an air traffic controller, and asked me where I wanted to work. And they're like, well, I see that you're in this region. Did you want to wait until a position opens there? Or I'm like, no, I want to go to work now, like tomorrow. Yeah. And they're like, okay, we're going to send you to Northern California. I hung up the phone. All that working I was doing, y'all, back then, I was making maybe $28,000 a year.
Wow.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, granted, this is before
Back then.
inflation. So that roughly amounts to, this is what, 98?
This was 96.
96. 28,000. That's maybe 60 to 70K now. Can we put
That's
inflation
lower.
calculator
It
real
was
quick?
lower than that, y'all. It was lower. It might have been 25,000, 23,000. I wasn't making that. I mean, I was working hard, but minimum wage.
What would your spending power be in today's dollars, you would say, roughly?
Maybe 40K, maybe 40K.
Oh, really?
Maybe
Okay.
40K, bro.
So for $40,000 in today's spending dollars, you would say.
Yeah.
So you're making 25K back then, but if we took that money today, you'd be 40K.
Yeah, about 40K. So you can see that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, and you were working 2 full-time jobs during that.
And a side hustle, a legit side hustle.
Okay.
My side hustles were always like the street promotions, and then I
What
got
year?
into politics. You know, I'm always talking about politics.
97, but he said it's 40K. That's fine.
We got it.
Yeah, I got into politics. I was helping people, any way I could, networking. That's my
Granted,
thing.
you lived in Cincinnati, which has a very low cost of living.
And, oh my
You're,
God.
you're trying different things. You're trying new avenues.
What were you
meeting
paying
people.
rent a month back then?
Oh, shit, I don't even remember. It might have been 800,
800,
600, and barely making that. Maybe, yeah. Again, we wasn't money, yeah. Which would have been maybe 1,100 today, 1,200 today.
Yeah, so roughly, it's saying 49K today. So okay.
Yeah, so that money didn't go for. And I'm chasing chicks. Where do you think that money went?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
for sure,
People,
for sure.
you know what I mean? People were like,
Oh man.
you take them out to fine restaurants? Hell no. I took them to the park. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, we going, you talking about you taking a cheap date? Hell yeah. Why? Because I was broke.
So you got this call. This is 96 now. When did you actually get out to Northern California for?
1998. So 1998, I get my packet. They're like, welcome packet. You're going to Van Nuys Airport.
Okay.
And I'm like, looking at a map, right? Because back then, couldn't pull up your phone, guys. Had to pull out a Thompson guide. Y'all know what that is. Look it up. Big ass book. It's a big ass map, right? So I'm opening it up. I'm looking all over Northern California. Can't find Van Nuys. I can't find it because it's in LA. So they're telling me, government, typical government, you're going here, but you actually wind up going there.
Yep.
And at the time, Van Nuys was one of the busiest airports in the business. So not only am I going, I'm getting hired off the street. I'm an air traffic controller in name only, never really worked it. But I'm going to, it's like they're throwing me into the league, bro. Like I'm going to the pros.
Yeah, because it's a big airport.
Big airport. And I'm like, shit.
So this is not LAX, to be clear.
It's not LAX. It's in the San Fernando Valley, Van Nuys, California. If you guys have ever flown into the Burbank Airport, you fly right over Van Nuys as you're trying to land at Burbank.
Okay.
So I got in there. It was very difficult, very hard. Your first year as an air traffic controller, it's probationary. They can fire you for anything.
Yeah, that's what like almost all government work.
Right. So, and my guy who, helped me out, my mentor, he was like, listen, I need you to focus 100% on this. Don't give anyone a reason to fire you. You need to be focused. Get it done. He knew where I was going.
What'd you come in at salary-wise at this point?
Well, at this point, they were coming off the GS scale.
Yeah.
And the ATC scale came because air traffic controllers have their own pay scale.
Oh, they're not on GS.
So Mo, if you can find an ATC salary or it should say ATC scale pay scale, it's above GS.
Okay.
So I came in and they were like, all right, I would have been making like 60 grand, 50, 60 grand. But I came in and it was just like pay raise after pay raise. I came in like at 65 and then
That's back, that 65,
that was 1998.
1998. Oh, that's a lot of money. That's
And then
like
it kept
120 today, you would say, spending power?
105.
All right, 105 spending power today? Okay.
And it kept going
That's
up.
what you came in at. That's good.
It kept going up. Kept going because I came in doing this, what they call reclass. They're going from the GS scale to this ATC scale.
Damn, Unc. That's nice.
Bro. So I'm making more money than the people who are training me. So they get mad.
Of course.
Because they're like, if he finishes here, he's going to be making more than all of us. And I'm like, hey, my fault. I ain't come up. I'm just trying to learn how to do this shit.
Yeah.
But again, being nice, networking, being humble. Air traffic controller,
Pay scale.
ATC a year. They have it's a government pay scale that should show air traffic control. That's it right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, because it's .gov.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Take your time.
Take your time.
He'll
That's fine.
talk. Yeah.
So I'm at this very busy place. I'm at a place that a lot of controllers want to go to. I get into ATC politics.
Oh, it's important to know also, guys, another reason why he probably got paid so much is because of locality pay. ATSP, I'm assuming, assumes locality as well?
That was even before that.
So there's no locality.
No, you get it now, but that got on top of what I was making.
Okay.
So that was, yes, you get that, and you get they have what's called CIP, controller incentive pay. On top of all that, you got locality government rate.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have controller incentive pay because it's so expensive to live in LA, California, and all that kind of stuff.
It is, yeah.
Bro's make a lot of money, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, so the program I got hired under was called Veterans Relocation Act, VRA. So I just had to show them as an air traffic controller to just hire me. So here I am. They think I'm an experienced air traffic controller. I don't know any of the systems. Right? I don't know any of the airports. I'm from the other side of the country. I didn't even know Van Nuys was in Southern California. I thought it was in Northern California. Bro, I'm in there studying my ass off because in my mind, I'm like, I can't let this man down. That's the scale right there.
Okay.
I can't let this man down.
That's, I think, with today's dollars probably.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
So, and then like I was an ATC 9, so you get that IX 9 or whatever. I was a 9. And so I came in, I would have been a 73, 262 and add 20% to that. With all the incentive pays and everything else, add 20% to that.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
When I finished, right? So I finished, I was ATC 11 and I was,
So right there where okay.
yeah. and I was not TMC. Not go down some more. Where are the controllers at? I don't see the controllers on here. I'm seeing. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Go back up to the top. CPC. Yeah. So I was between that 164, 172 base rate.
Okay. You were in that range.
When I left.
Is the 12 a managerial position or no?
12 is just the type of facility. Miami Towers are 12. Miami centers are 12. That's like the facility.
Okay.
Level.
Depends on where you work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Depends
So
on where you work.
11. So 11 is the highest you could get, not assuming facility matters.
12.
12 is.
12 is the highest. So the
No, but I'm
highest
saying assuming we're not using facility, like you're working anywhere, is 11 the highest? Because it seems to me like you can only hit a 12 depending on the facility that you're in.
Right. So you have to go to. Okay. So you're thinking the steps in GS.
Yeah.
ATC is different. The facility is 12. So your pay is going to be under 12 for that facility.
Which means more stressful, more responsibility, etc. Because with the GS scale, anything over 13 is a managerial position.
And then you got those steps.
Yeah.
So FAA has their own pay for managers, but it's basically the same thing. It's just they give them an extra 20%, I think, or 8% on top of it.
Okay, so they're on that same scale too. So a manager can be an 11 or a 12.
Yeah,
Even.
all the way across.
Okay, it depends on. It's
So if
based
you're a
on
manager,
facility.
yes.
Okay.
All facilities. So if you're a manager of facilities at ATC 8, like say you're a manager down here in
Miami.
there's a small airport down here in South Miami. I forget the Opelika.
Opelika?
Yeah.
Well, Opelika is private. So let's say you're a Fort Lauderdale executive. That's a small Fort Lauderdale executive. You guys will be flying out of here pretty soon at the rate y'all going. Y'all be private jet be parked there.
Yes, sir.
So
Even if we did, I ain't doing it. That's
yeah. So I think they're eights.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, I think they're eights. I think they're ATC 8s. So you would be ATC 8 manager, and then you could be at the top step of ATC 8 would be like the highest rate, and then like the entry level would be down here.
Interesting. So in the air traffic controller world, you're paid based off of the facility that you work.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that facility, depending on how stressful it is, how many planes come in, volume, etc., that dictates how much you get paid.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
And yes, and then it's one of those things where as you go, let's say you were a controller at Miami.
Yeah.
You're making ATC 12 pay. Now you want to be a supervisor, you know what I mean, at Fort Lauderdale executive.
Yeah.
Well, you still stay in your band. So you will go to the absolute top of the band at the ATC 8.
Wow.
Okay.
And then they'll throw a little bit on top.
Okay.
Tamiami,
Okay.
that's the airport I was trying to think of. Tamiami down south.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking about. So you go down to Tamiami, I think Tamiami is like a 6 or 7.
Okay.
So you go, and there are tricks in there as far as pay. You go someplace and maybe go through training but not make it, but they'll let you keep the pay raises. And when you go back to your other place, you know what I mean?
Interesting. Very interesting.
You wouldn't, when you look at it, you're like, this must have been made by the union, which it was, because
Yeah.
it's like, this is so beneficial to the
employees.
workers.
Yeah.
So remember I told you Ronald Reagan fired the air traffic controllers, right?
Yeah, in the 80s you said there was a strike. No, not in the
In the 80s.
In the 80s it was a
Ronald
strike.
Reagan fired the air traffic controllers. A lot of them got hired back, whoever was still alive and could do it when I came in. So I got hired in with guys who got fired. So I show up at Van Nuys my first day. There's a bunch of controllers, like 8 of us, 6 of us or 8 of us or whatever. One of them got fired out of Van Nuys in the 80s.
Okay.
There was a guy that worked there. There was a scab. He crossed the picket line.
Okay.
So you got this guy who got fired back then and lost out on all his money for all his time. Now he's back, and he's working next to the guy who replaced him
Okay.
by crossing the picket line and all this kind of stuff, right?
Wow.
Boy, it was scab this, scab that every day. Them dudes ready to go to blows like every single
Now what's a
day.
scab?
A scab is a person who crosses a picket line. So you remember when the NFL went on strike way back in the day and they bring in other football players to go play as NFL players, replacements, and then when the strike's over, they fire all the replacements and bring back the big name. So, yeah.
Okay, so scab is someone who basically said, "Fuck the picket line. I'm gonna go ahead and work, and I'll take the less pay. I'm cool with it."
Or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. Yep.
I can see why they get pissed off because that directly messes their ability up to have leverage. Okay.
So this new guy came in, all this time, Vietnam vet, crusty old dude. These white dudes. I'm sitting back like, this white boy's going at it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, I wonder if anybody's going to get shot. Like, I don't think they're going to go that far. But
So it's like they kept the replacements.
yes.
So they kept replacements and they kept the people that protested. Oh, that's
Later,
gotta
all
create
them
a
years later.
volatile work
Bro.
environment. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was in there watching it every day. It was drama, bro.
Yeah.
I just popcorn, bro.
Because you're on neither side.
I
Yeah.
care
You're a new
less.
hire. Yeah. You're a new
Care
hire.
less. I didn't cross the picket line.
Yeah.
And I came into all the new money. So dude got fired, and then everything they wanted, they got all them years later. So he, luckily he got in and he got the benefits from, being brave enough to strike.
So
and
would
fight.
you say that those strikes are what led directly to the good benefits that air traffic controllers have
100%.
now.
Wow.
100%.
Okay.
That strike broke the union. The union back then was called PACO. It broke that union, and a new union emerged. It was called NACA, National Air Traffic Controllers Association. And NACA was able to get everything that PACO tried to get and more.
Gotcha. Now, when did you retire from air traffic controlling? What
I've been
year?
retired 4 years now.
Okay, so you're obviously still aware of how it works in the modern. It's not like you were air traffic control in the fucking 70s and things have changed drastically. So you got in through the military. Let's say someone doesn't have military experience like you do, right? How would they go ahead and go about becoming an air traffic controller?
It's funny you ask. So all you got to do is apply, because every now and then, back in the day, they would have these open hires, kind of like going to work for the post office or something like that. It's a government job, right? They open the job up.
USA Jobs?
USA Jobs.
Let's go ahead and walk the people through it. Go USA Jobs
USA
real
Jobs-
quick.
USA
and let's go ahead and show them how to do this.
USAjobs.gov.
Money Monday, guys.
And 2152 is the series. Y'all know Myers always talking about series, right? You were
Yep.
1811, right?
Yeah, 1811.
So it's 2152.
So put 2152.
There it is, air traffic control. So
bam.
and there it is. So right now there's an open bid, which a bid is a job posting for air traffic control specialist. That one right there, you must have experience to bid that one.
For terminal.
Yes, they're looking for people who were like former controllers, maybe in the military, working for private air traffic control firms. They have the schooling or whatever. They're looking that you have to have experience.
Okay.
That's not the job opening that I'm telling you guys about. Q1, there'll be a posting for off the street hires
Okay.
to become an air traffic controller.
And Q1 is January of next year?
January, February, March, somewhere
Okay.
in there.
It's not open now, I see.
No, it's not going to be
There's
open
only
now.
these two things that are open right now? Scroll down.
Go ahead,
Bills, please.
yeah. And then you'll see a lot of postings for like supervisor jobs, like transferring, enter, FAA. It's all kind of stuff. There's always tons of jobs.
What's the
there it is right
entry
there,
level-
air
okay.
traffic control specialist, CPC. But for that one, you have to have experience.
Okay. Where's one that's entry level that they don't need any experience that they can apply
They won't
for?
show it until they post it. Everything on there is an active post.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you need experience for all these positions right now.
Right now, especially that one right there. So you'll see like there's a job for terminal here. These are for transfers. So you
Okay.
know somebody from LA could apply to come out here to Miami
Gotcha.
or Chicago or whatever. So guys, the thing is, what we need you to do is go on here and look at everything that's required. Like, you know, because all the SF forms and all that's going to be part of the package. But you got to get your resumes ready, be ready to post all that stuff. Because when this posting opens, bro, they'll drop it like at midnight on the night that they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And, bro, if you're not in there within the first 5 minutes, you're not getting in there.
Wow.
People are sitting up at midnight waiting for that thing to come out. Refresh, refresh, refresh. They just click, and they load their stuff up, and boom.
Yeah.
Right? Why are they doing that? Because it's an amazing opportunity. The government pays for all of your training. You get assigned. If you make it through all the training, you get assigned, and you're on that pay scale. You start at the bottom, of course, developmental. You move your way up. But wherever you go, you're going to be making six figures
You're starting at 100 pretty much.
pretty much.
Wow.
Wherever you go,
Out the gate.
out the gate. And you go, and you
No
can,
college degree.
no college degree.
What's the training like? So for the
It's
audience,
intense.
so they should be looking for when it comes out. It comes out first quarter. You said right for between January to March.
So this is what you got to do. Fresh and fit people, you know, our people, Council Club guys, we will know within a few days when that thing's going to come out.
Okay.
We still are tight, like, you know, what's going on in the business. You came out of, I
course.
still know what's going on in the business.
Yeah.
They'll put the word out. They'll say, hey, on this date, we're going to drop the notice.
Right.
So all your stuff should be done. And like you're up at midnight waiting for that shit to hit. Bam. Right? We have a guy that rocks with us up in Tampa, right? I started a group up there before Council Club. We have a group, we call ourselves the New Templars. A lot of F&F guys. We've been working together for over a year now.
Shout out Colonel Sanders and Kumasan.
There it is. So one of our guys was digging holes, doing hot labor outside, moving AC units and stuff like that. We made videos. Me and my buddy Jay Swans, we served in the Army together. We both were traffic controllers. We made 2 or 3 videos and posted it on our thing. He saw the video. He followed all the steps in the video. Got hired. He goes to Oklahoma next month.
Wow.
So no more working in the heat, right? No more. He's like going to Oklahoma City. He's going to be in air traffic control. Now he has to get through the training. Training is intense.
How long is the training?
I don't, because I never went through that program.
Oh, because you already had your military experience.
So
So
don't take my word on this, guys. I'll get an answer for you, but I want to say it's 3 months or so.
okay, all right, roughly 90 days.
the vast majority of air traffic control is on the job training. So you have to go through, learn the basics. This is what the school teaches you, how to talk, the phonetic alphabet, what the legs of a pattern is, what a pattern is, you know what I mean? What the fuck is an airplane? You got to learn this basic stuff. Airspace,
I think it's important to explain to people. So, like, what does air traffic control specifically entail? Like, what is the purpose of it? Because some people might be like, what the fuck are these guys? Like, what is what does it do? Why is it important to society?
The primary mission of air traffic controllers, right? Their job is to prevent collisions in the system. Bam. That's what air traffic controllers do. It is the air traffic controller's job to keep planes from flying into shit. Other airplanes, mountains, buildings, this sort of thing.
So during that 3-month period, roughly, are you getting paid the whole time?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
You're getting paid. They're paying for your lodging. They're paying for your food. You're getting per diem.
Where's the base at where you train?
This is in Oklahoma City.
Okay, it's in Oklahoma. For everybody, got to go there.
Everyone
okay,
has to
just
go
like
there
a
now.
police academy. Okay,
Yep.
so
they all go to Oklahoma City. Once you make it out of Oklahoma City, you get assigned to an airport. You go to that airport, and then your real training begins. Where it's like on the job training. You're actually talking to the airplanes, and then once you get through that,
you probably have an FTO, a field training officer you're under their auspice the whole time.
The whole time. And
Yep.
other controllers get paid to train people, and it's really scary because you're actually, the way the system is set up, when you plug in to talk on your microphones or wherever, you plug in together, and your controller, who's the trainer, has the ability to override the trainee. So while you're talking, if I need to say something, I'll say, and I'll override you. So you're over here talking, hey, Mr. Airplane, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll jump in, Delta 211, heavy turn left, heading 280, climb and maintain 3,000. And it's like, oh, shit, that's what you should have been saying, motherfucker. That's what we're saying after we unkey. Like, why are you worried about this? You be worried about that.
Yeah.
That's the real intense part, right? So that's the only way you get trained. Like, you have to actually work it. Now, that's the hardest part of the training. You can wash out, right? And if you wash out, game over.
Yeah.
So you got to work hard.
And I don't think people understand how important this job is. Guys, when you get on an airplane, right, the chances of you, like, those basically, the pilots, right, we give pilots a lot of credit, right, because, like, oh, my God, they're flying a plane. That's so hard. They're operating blind, guys. They're listening to an air traffic controller tell them, okay, adjust your route 3 degrees north, whatever the fuck, or west, whatever. You could probably
If you ever want to hear this shit, go to Live ATC. Go to Live ATC. I think it might be .com or .org or something like that, and you can just listen to whatever airport you want to listen. You can listen to it. We can listen to Miami right now if we wanted to, and you can hear. And it is a foreign language.
Yeah,
we have to teach you the language.
So what happens if one day I'm going to work, had a rough weekend, I might be a little bit high, and I messed up the wrong line? What does that do?
Okay, so you're going to prison because you said you were high coming to work as an air traffic controller. So open up, FBI. They come to see your ass. Right?
Damn.
You can't do that. You get random drug testing all the time. You can't come to work drunk. You can't come to work high. You gotta be on point. Again, they teach you all this shit. So here's the thing: what happens when an air traffic controller makes a mistake?
Yeah,
that's the question, basically,
100%.
right? It gets reviewed. So let's say the air traffic controller is talking to, he's doing his job, and all of a sudden something happens. Two airplanes come together, they fall out the sky. All right,
that's the absolute worst.
Absolute worst. So, yep, that's it. You can listen to any airport you want to listen to, and you can hear air traffic. They're all those towers. You can listen to any tower you want. The ground control, ATIS, all that kind of stuff. We're not going to get into the weeds. That's just different frequencies and different areas of responsibility. The ground controller is talking to the airplanes moving around on the ground. The local controller is talking to airplanes in the sky. Then you have TRACON controllers, and we can't even begin to get into all that. It would take us 8 hours to get into that. But to your point, two airplanes come together, there's loss of life, massive, massive problems, right? So what happens? The NTSB gets involved, FAA management gets involved. They're going to figure out what happened. Everything's recorded, obviously. They're going to go back and listen to the tapes. They're going to make sure you did everything you were supposed to do. And they're going to make sure the pilots did everything they were supposed to do. That's why those black boxes are so important and stuff like that. And if they find that you made a mistake, but it was just doing the course and scope of your duties, it wasn't malicious, there's going to be some retraining involved. That's if you even want to continue. I mean, it's really hard to understand, like, hey, man, I ran these two airplanes together and, 100 people are gone. You got to live with that.
Has that ever happened before?
Let's just say I've dealt with every aspect of air traffic control.
Damn.
Right? I'm here to tell you, it was easier for me as a soldier, and it was easier for me in the streets to deal with loss of life than it was as an air traffic controller. Yeah, I don't know why it hits different. I mean, it's just I'm proud of what I do, and I gave my all. And when shit goes wrong, I mean that's the ultimate L, right? You know, so if a lot of times when there are incidents like that, it's not the controller's fault. It really isn't. It's the controller is the last line of defense. So I can tell you hundreds of stories of how we pulled them apart. Oh shit, what is he doing? Like you tell a guy to turn left, he turns right. You tell a guy to climb to an altitude, he starts descending.
Yeah.
It's 3D chess. So you're constantly scanning, you're doing stuff, you're looking at stuff, okay, he's doing this, he's doing that. Then you look over like
How many planes are you going over or looking at any given time?
Depends on where you are.
Okay.
You know, we count the movements. When I was at Van Nuys, 100 hour was pretty much standard. So I'm talking to 100 movements in, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So, that's guys coming in and land, that's guys taking off, that's guys flying through, transitioning, and you're tracking all that. That's just at a VFR tower. When you get to the busier facilities, there's more and more airplanes.
Like Atlanta, Dallas?
Atlanta, Dallas, LA, Chicago, O'Hare, the Commandant, Miami. One of the toughest airports, one of the toughest airspace, I would argue, in the system is right here in Miami.
Really?
Yeah.
Why so?
All that fucking rain.
The rain. Okay.
Pilots don't want to fly through storms, baby.
It's hurricane
Okay.
season.
Yeah, they don't want this. Man, summertime. Oh my God,
It rains every day, yeah.
I've never been more exhausted, more mentally drained than working here at Miami in the tower on a summer day.
Wow.
Because you see the weather coming, and if the pilots aren't flying through that shit, and you got to figure out how to move all these airplanes. So if you have, let's say it's easy, you got maybe 20 airplanes in the sky. It's a piece of cake. This is nothing. Now, all of a sudden, 3 or 4 nasty thunderstorm cells pop up. Oh shit, your workload just went 100x. 100x. Same, without even bringing any more airplanes into the scenario, because maybe you can use a third of your airspace, maybe, because they're not going to fly over there.
Yeah.
They're not going
I
to
see
fly
what
over
you
there
mean. Because the pilots are blind, essentially.
They have equipment and they can see. They can look out the window and see that nasty ass storm. I ain't flying through that shit. Right?
Yo.
Like I ain't flying. And you'll tell them like, hey, climb and maintain 4,000. Negative.
Oh, they'll tell you straight up. Okay, so they don't even have to. So they refuse the right. They have the right to refuse your direction.
They are ultimately in charge and responsible for that aircraft. If I give them a heading and the altitude, they don't have to take it.
So basically, it's almost always the pilot's fault. Not always, but most of the time. Most of the time.
Almost. Now there are times when controllers just outright fuck up. Right? You'll have a controller just have a mind fart and just we're human. They'll just fuck something up and not see it. And then that's when you get those close calls and stuff like that. And there's a lot of close calls going on right now. There's a lot of overworked, stressed out air traffic controllers. They're people are retiring.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Hearing this right now, bro, I'm scared to fly.
It's one of the most. I've said it before. Air traffic control. The reason why they get paid so much is one of the most stressful jobs in America that no one knows about.
No one knows about. It's still the safest form of travel. You know someone who's on the inside. It's like law enforcement, man. Like how many agents really pull their weapon and actually fire?
Oh, rarely, especially from an 1811 perspective. Way less than local police.
Right, and they hardly ever do it.
Yeah.
So
Mine rarely.
Rarely. So you're still, it's the safest form of travel. There's so many redundancies built in. We have so much technology now. We see the storms building. We see it. Like we know that it's about to be some major shit here.
Still way safer than driving your car.
Way safer. So it's like let's start moving these airplanes away from this area over here. Let's start getting more controllers, and let's open up more positions. Let's start getting our plans together. Air traffic control is all about planning. It's chess. It's 3D chess.
Yeah, I thought about it. If my mom told me what to do, I'd be like, negative. A girl I'm talking to, negative.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Negative.
Sorry, negative.
What? Wah, wah, wah.
Listen, man, that was funny.
Thanks, Fresh, for adding your colorful commentary.
Some chats here.
Yeah, we could read some chats here. And